Good evening. Thanks for joining us for Real America with Dan Ball tonight, folks. We greatly appreciate you trusting us tonight. We begin with some breaking news over on the West Coast, but it concerns all of us and our election process and integrity. Now, this is a story that most of the mainstream media is either avoiding altogether or they're twisting it. They're downplaying it. They're acting as it's no big deal. They're saying it's more conspiracy theory from crazy MAGA folks. Case in point. Let's talk about our buddies in the New York Times. They're already attempting to downplay any suspicions around the fact that the CEO of an election software company, the company, I believe you pronounce it Konnech, it's K-O-N-N-E-C-H, and their CEO, Eugene Yu, seen right there over my shoulder, has been now taken into custody under suspicion of sending data from election poll workers over to communist China. On October 3rd, the New York Times published an article about reporter Stuart Thompson. You can look this guy up. I'm sure he's an activist journalist. His article was titled How a Tiny Elections Company Became a Conspiracy Theory Target, in which he claimed that the election deniers were targeting this innocent company, a Michigan election software firm with just 21 employees in the U.S., and had developed a theory of their threadbare evidence that the company had ties to the Chinese Communist Party and had given the Chinese government a backdoor access to personal data of millions of poll workers. That's what his article said. Thompson suggests that people believe ridiculous things and there's no validity to anything. Again, calling us election deniers, spinning conspiracy theories in the article. The New York Times used the phrase, again, conspiracy theory and theorists 9 times in their article, even once in the headline. How a tiny elections company became a conspiracy theory target. Also, they mentioned it 7 times in the body, even put it in the photo caption in their article. Now on October 4th, one day later, the New York Times publishes another article from the same journalist, Mr. Thompson, titled Election Software Executive Arrested on Suspicion of Theft, in which he reported that Eugene Yu, the CEO of the company, had been busted on suspicion of theft after there was data found stored in China, which is illegal. Exactly what we said. Anyway, our friends at True the Vote, who have been trying to uncover what's been happening at Konnech and elsewhere around this country, issued a statement regarding Mr. Yu's arrest. And we love the folks at True the Vote because they're out there trying to just get us some clarity when it comes to election integrity. It's a big one, but I'll try and whip through it here, folks. True the Vote is honored to have played a small role in what must have been a wide-ranging and complex investigation. The organization is profoundly grateful to the Los Angeles DA's office for their thorough work and rapid action in this matter. True the Vote was sued last month by Konnech to try and silence our organization, including obtaining information conducted in secret so that True the Vote had no opportunity to contest it. This temporary restraining order limited True the Vote's ability to speak on the litigation. Today, the CEO, Mr. Yu, was arrested based on alleged evidence of the very activities he and his organization attempted to suppress. Konnech was assisted by many reporters who accepted their now discredited claims as fact and simply repeated them. New York Times. According to True the Vote founder, Catherine Elgebrecht, election integrity should not be a partisan issue, exactly, nor should the media try to suppress all the conversation about it in any way that benefits one party. I agree, Catherine. We will continue to report evidence of threats to our election process and work with law enforcement to ensure our elections are a secure space for all American voters. Yes, that's what we want. And now to fill us in more on how this all relates, of course, the arrest of this guy, to the fraudulent 2020 election, and then just the bigger picture of election integrity, but more importantly, how the CCP tries to infiltrate our election process. He's a member of the Arizona House of Representatives, Trump-endorsed GOP nominee for Secretary of State, our pal Mark Finchem. Mark, I know you worked with True the Vote folks as well to get to the bottom of what went down in Arizona. Where was your mind going when this news broke?
Well, I've known about this for a while, Dan, and out of respect for Catherine and Greg Phillips, I knew that they were tracking IP addresses and IP traffic from one computer to another. So this is no surprise to me, but it's kind of one of those joyful relief moments where we're able to take the leftist controlled, captured media and say, so debunk this.
Right.
This is something that is in a court of law. That means that this guy had to face a judge. They had to have evidence.
Mm-hmm.
They had to present their case for an arrest warrant to be issued. So I did an interview earlier today where they said, oh, this has all been debunked. All right, here's my hashtag for that one. Hashtag debunk this.
Yeah.
A judge has seen the evidence. We now have solid evidence that we've got poll worker information that has been shared with the Chinese Communist Party. Now, it's not my understanding Mr. Yu is a member of the CCP.
Yes, I think I read that as well. And I believe his contract with his private company to do whatever he's doing with his software for elections in this country, the contract says no information, I don't care if it's 1 American or 1 million Americans, no information shall be stored on servers in China or anywhere, it actually says in the contract, anywhere but the U.S. And this information was, in fact, being stored in China, correct?
Correct. And this guy is plutonium, by the way. That is why the leftist-controlled media, New York Times, WAPO, all the guys coming after me because I'm so-called a conspiracy theorist. Okay, when you have fact on your side, that's not a theory. As Rush Limbaugh used to say, that's a theorem. That means we have now proven our case. How about you prove your case that you're on the right side of the law?
No. Now,
everything talked about in this campaign is, can we just follow the law?
Thank you.
Obviously, Mr. Yu doesn't want to do that.
No. Well, the left likes to twist it, use the law when it benefits them, otherwise break it or make up new ones. That's the Democrats' strategy. Almost out of time, but I want to put the information up if you want to help Mark in his battle to become the new Secretary of State there in Arizona. They're going to have a whole new slate from top to bottom with Kari Lake as Gov and him in there, a new AG. It's going to be great. I'm moving to Arizona. There it is, votefincham.com. Mark, thank you so much for coming on the program and all you've been doing to get to the bottom of this and just have some election integrity. That's all we're asking for. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and thank you. And by the way, CNN even had to admit we're 4 points ahead of the opposition.
Nice. Love to hear it. It's going to be a clean sweep over there for Republicans. Thanks, Mark.